So I decided that I'm not gonna start the new series today because it is the last day of the month. Tomorrow's Black History Month. So I will start the new series next week. Back with more AI chit chat and banter. But today I want to talk about what's necessary, specifically your mindset. Now, this is just me sharing from my personal experience, being an entrepreneur for as long as I've been one. And I'm believing, hoping, and doing the work necessary to see the results. So one of the many challenges I face in this journey is that I'm learning as I go. Howbeit, I feel that because I've aligned with certain mindsets, the time that it would normally take me to acquire needed information doesn't take that long because I've purposed in my mind instead of it can't be done, how can I? Basically, I ask questions as opposed to just understanding or accepting that things aren't going to work out or they haven't worked out the way that I necessarily want them to. But one thing that is very interesting is that if you've gone through the public school system, you've actually been trained as a public servant. So when you're an entrepreneur, you have to think differently, and depending on what stage of business you're in, you're wearing all the hats. You're the CEO, you're the chief financial officer, you're the marketer, you're doing everything. And like I said, there's some things you might have understanding of, especially if your business is centered around maybe a skill or a talent or a product or service that you're already knowledgeable in. You're not knowledgeable, about every other aspect of your business, so you're learning as you're going. So I just want to encourage you, my guy, to keep hope, keep the faith, keep going with the journey, and understanding that you're not going to have all the answers. And even if you find an answer, it may be the answer for you, it may not be the answer for you. But if you're clear, and this is me kind of getting into some of my points, if you're clear about what it is that you want to accomplish, that will aid you in the realization of your goals. So, again, this is like a quick little chit chat. I don't want to sit too long. Like I said, I just wanted to sit and encourage you to be intentional. Be very, very intentional about what it is that you want to do. And that's it. The how sometimes can get a little mixy. And the how may have to switch up. I don't think the how is the most important thing when you're in pursuit of your goal. It's just like, I loved science as a kid. And I was very competitive, and I'm still very competitive, but I'm in competition with myself, just being better. But I love doing science projects, and yes, you have a desired goal, right? If you're working on something and, let's say I'm trying to build out a volcano and I want the volcano to erupt, that is the goal. But I think what's beautiful in that if you approach life in business specifically, and just asking questions. There may be a question, or there may be something that you didn't realize that you wanted to accomplish or that you could accomplish, but you made it your business to ask questions as opposed to just solely focusing on this one goal, which is obviously necessary. I'm not saying don't have goals, but you have your intent of what it is that you're wanting to accomplish. You have your desired outcome, and the how is what can kind of trip people up. The reason why having that mindset of just asking questions, there's no clear path. You know, you can be listening to so many different people, so many different mentors, and this way works for them, and that way works for them. I love doing research, and I love, looking and listening to other people that are in the AI space, right? Because that's a completely new space that you to have ventured into, and hear the timeline for people. It's like, man, I can do that too, But the reality is, they may not be working full time. They may not have the same things going for themselves that you have going. So that doesn't mean that numbers or goals aren't attainable. It's just understanding that the expectation for that may be a little bit longer than expected. But I think that's what makes it so worth it, because I have this goal and I have this thing that I'm working towards. Whether it takes me a month, whether it takes me 2 months, whether it takes me 6 months, a year, doesn't matter how long it takes me. This is my goal, and I'm going to keep working towards it until I get it. Another thing that I like to be mindful of in process to achieve the goal that I set out to accomplish. You've set goals before, right? And you've accomplished those goals before, and so it's always good to keep in mind. Just a couple of months ago, I was saying I wanted to be doing something specific, and I prepared for it because this is a goal. This is something that I said I wanted to accomplish, and as a result of that, I'm now doing those things. So, gently remind yourself to be easy on yourself, because I think that's another challenge. And make sure your expectations are realistic with where you are, right? This channel is, any entrepreneur can watch this, but I have a special affinity in my heart for entrepreneurs that are just getting started, because there's so many different parts, and you just don't know. And like I said, you can listen to other entrepreneurs, and maybe they did a ton of research before they started and struck gold right away. But the reality is that for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's just not going to be because you're on a learning curve. So one of the other things I can encourage is that you set realistic expectations to where you are. If you don't know how to market and do sales to gain sales, setting a goal of saying maybe making $10,000 a month for your business, that's a doable goal. But if you don't understand how marketing works, if you don't understand how sales works, that's your learning curve, right? You have to figure out how to do that. And so, maybe listening to someone, I did it in 6 months, or I did it in 2 months, or I did it within my first month out. That's great. And if that happens, amazing. But if it doesn't happen, that doesn't mean you don't attain for it. But just keep going. Another thing I hear so frequently when talking to other entrepreneurs, and I think that is so comical, is that somebody else is already doing it. Look at the bread out. Albeit, there has to be another grain other than, like, you just gotta figure something else out. However, what was this, maybe like a year or so ago, I learned of the Black Bread Company. Whole wheat bread. Never tried their bread, but I was just like, oh my God, there's like a new bread manufacturer, and I've never heard of them before, and I think this is dope from Chicago. And I was interacting with them on Instagram. That didn't stop them from creating bread. Like, we don't grow wheat bread. Like, yours has a hint of sweetness, great. That would be my mindset, but they felt they need to create that. So don't allow the fact that someone else is in that space to stop you from being in that same space. There are so many videos of people talking about AI, and you could go and watch those videos, and that's great. Go watch those videos. The more information that's useful to what it is that you're doing, the better. Especially if it's going to help you succeed, it's going to help you accomplish your goals. Go and watch those videos. But that doesn't stop me from making the videos that I want to make, right? So don't allow what others say to detract you or deter you. Like I said, depending on the goal, depending on the learning curve that you're on, you may hit those goals right away. It might take you some time. This is why another point that I want to bring out, make sure that you're pursuing something that you truly enjoy. As long as you're not a non-for-profit, you're going to make money in business. You might hit the goal that you want to start. You might not hit the goal. I've made money, not a lot of money, but I've definitely made money in business. And for me, I realized that, I would prefer to work businesses or offer products and services that I am like passionate about, that I enjoy talking about. I enjoy learning about AI. I enjoy creating content for entrepreneurs and other creators to help them be successful. I love when people do well. And if I can aid in that process and in that journey with people, then I definitely want to do that. So I encourage you, you're in a for-profit business, you're going to make money. Whether you make it right away or it takes time, who knows? But do what you enjoy, do what you're most passionate about. Other people have other opinions, and if you watch their videos, great, go with that. I've touched on every point I wanted to touch on. I was just making sure that I covered every point because I don't have notes for this. This is just I want to share what's on my heart, and I want to encourage people, and keep going. Don't stop. Write your vision out. Make it plain. It's okay if you don't know every minute detail. It's okay. Because even if you have a detail clear, you might have to edit, you might have to change it, and that's totally fine. Don't focus on the numbers, especially if you're on social media, and understand that what you have is in correlation to where you are. You don't have the amount of sales that you want to have just yet. 9 times out of 10, there's some foundational things that you need to set in place to help support you once your business starts to scale. So don't despise the small beginnings at all. Don't despise it. Don't let it discourage you. Remain consistent. And I know for me, I've reached a point where I'm very honest with myself. I'm really honest with myself. You kind of overthink things sometimes, and I recognize that, okay, Shahana, I am at a point where it would be beneficial to have a community of other entrepreneurs, right? Because I understand you have to put your emotions on a schedule, because I understand that about myself, right? So because of that, and that's kind of why I created this too, was to foster community with other entrepreneurs so that you're not feeling like I'm on this journey on my own and I don't know where to go, I don't know how to do certain things, community is so key, is so important. And making sure that you're around other like-minded individuals who want to see you win. In my personal experience, even as a creative, my family and friends will support the successes. Oh, I've got a place. Oh, I'm going and doing this. I've got some events lined up, and I know once I share that, oh my God, it's amazing. But if I'm in the studio working on this, I'm in the studio doing that, or I'm working on that. Certain people may be excited, certain people may be happy, but it's like it's regular. Like, you've been doing music your whole life. Like, this is not, this is not anything new, child. So what am I saying? You're on social media. Don't look at your hot markets to support you, because your family and friends are not going to support you. A lot of people that have followed my cartoon channel are not even related to, I've never seen these people today in my life. I've never met them. But my product appeals to them, and that's the focus. And I feel sometimes in our journey, we have this expectation that our family and our friends should support us. And I mean, ideally that would be great, but understand that you are a business and that you offer a product or a service that appeals to a demographic, whether you're aware of that demographic or not. They're just not going to support you. And I remember somebody said something that gave me so much comfort and freedom working as a singer, songwriter. And it's like, people, like, you're not Beyonce, so like, if you drop something, people are like, oh, okay, great, cool. But once you reach that status, or once you reach that level, that's when people will now, oh, I knew you were going to make it, I knew you were going to blow type stuff. And it's true. Doing stuff for local artists was cool, but the minute I said, oh, my stuff is on Hulu and X, Y, and Z, oh my God, you're doing well, you're doing amazing. So don't get caught up in it. Make it up in your mind. If you're watching this video, maybe you've already made it up in your mind, maybe you haven't made it up in your mind, but I know that when I made it up in my mind, I'm going forward with my business, and I'm not stopping no matter what happens, no matter what comes up. I've consistently either gotten the information that I need, gotten the resources that I needed, gotten the tools that I've needed, and I'm not focused on numbers. Just remain consistent, remain disciplined, show yourself some grace, and understand that it's going to take time, but as long as you do the work, you will see the results. So I didn't want this video to be too long, but it's a little bit lengthy. So until next time, next week, it'll be February, it's Black History Month. But next week is when I'm going to get into a new series, and I think that new series is deep learning. AI is deep learning. I'm excited. I enjoy learning about AI and then giving those tools and resources to you guys. So until next time, be encouraged. You're gonna do well. Even if you don't think you are, you're gonna do well.